that second seat on BMW, they're looking at putting is it Schroeder from the old Moto 2, guy who spent a bunch of time in Moto 2. Now he's in World Supersport. To let him ride. They let him ride to test the BMW out today. So Marcel Schroeder, that's who it is. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, he's got the right passport. Obviously he's going to be Bavarian's home child riding that bike. But man, there's some interesting moves that I would not have guessed a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's going to be a good season, and I mean the championship's going to be wide open pretty much. So that's why you're seeing all these big changes happen. Because with Toprak stepping away, I mean, really the guy to beat is going to be Bulliga, who
Yep.
and Ducati's prepared for that too, because they're going to be running their next gen bike
Yes.
next season. You can buy it now, but yeah, they're not running it until this next season. But that bike is going to be a weapon. They got away from the single side swing arm. They went with the double side swing arm and a bunch of other trick parts where the bikes it's less of an art piece now, and they're kind of focusing on performance, and they're wanting to get it done.
Oh man, I mean the bike is, even this current generation, which is just coming to an end, is a fantastic motorcycle. At least from at least from the performance in not only World Superbike, but you know, yeah, he's doing pretty good. And Josh Herron, was doing good on that last. He won the championship on it last year on that bike. So I mean, the thing has plenty of performance, and if they're going to eke out another 10% or whatever out of it, that's the other OEM, they've got to up their game. If this arms race continues, um, Ducati shouldn't be penalized for weight or rev limits or whatever. It's like everyone else needs to up their game. Don't penalize the guy who's in front because they've poured money and time and effort into developing and engineering dollars into developing this. It's just like, why would they do that? You do all this to get maximum performance within weight and fuel consumption limit. That's the other thing. The fuel flow limitations. What nonsense, man! It's like, what are they going to make them run with flat tires next? I mean, it's like ridiculous. Like everyone else up their game. Don't penalize the people who are successful and have put the time and effort into developing the ultimate motorcycle package.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you can't penalize the innovators
It's
for making
nonsense.
an amazing bike.
Right, right. So yeah, Batista will still be on a Ducati, but with the Barney. Yeah, who else is going to be moving around? So I don't think Vandermark is going to be. I don't know where he's going to go. Honestly, I mean he's had a real rough year. So it's interesting. If Johnny Ray retires, I mean obviously that's going to free up a seat at Yamaha. So who do you think is going to fill those shoes?
I'm sure they're waiting for a MotoGP drop down, because I mean they're gonna have to come hard next season. Said Johnny Ray couldn't get it done, so they have to be at least as good as him. At least as good as him. So I would expect Miguel Oliveira probably
I was
to
actually
be
going to say
coming in
that
that
too.
seat. Yeah.
I think you hit it on the head that one of these MotoGP drop downs or dropouts is going to be looking for a ride, and I think that'll be a nice kind of, especially because I think Miguel Oliveira is under contract with
Mm.
Yamaha, but a bunch of these guys could have performance clauses, whereas and Miguel Oliveira is having, I know he's another one. I think he's had some injuries, but he has got to
Mhm.
be. He's above Chantra, but he's down there toward the bottom five of full time attendees in my guess. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
He.
shit. Honestly, I think you should get rid of Rince too. I mean, in MotoGP,
I mean, I think both those guys are going to be in trouble, regardless.
right?
Regardless, but yeah, I mean, you're looking for somebody to take that seat. I mean, it would make sense for Miguel to drop down, and then that I would expect to at least see some pretty good racing out of him for sure.
I would hope so. Yeah, oh my goodness, 20. That's position 20. Oh, so
Yep.
20. There's only 22 full time riders. So that means like Paul Espargaro and
Oh, like
Luca
Pedrosa
Salvador.
came in here and
Yeah, Pedrosa.
get a couple points.
Taka Nakagami. Some of the test riders have actually scored more points than 10 points. Holy shit! So
Hey, it's the bike. Blame the
it's
bike.
the bike. Yeah, that's. I mean, I know the bike that definitely needs work, but Quattararo is doing something with it. Um,
He's doing something, but he's just that good. I mean, he just constantly shows you, that he is a cut above. He's doing what he can.
yeah. Oh shit! I mean, he put it
He's a
on
top
pole
guy.
three times or whatever this year. So
Would have
yeah,
had a win. Would have had a
he
win.
would have. That's boy, what a yeah. That's a kick in the nuts right there. When he what is it?
Yeah, British GP.
That's right. It's Silverstone.
His
Ride
yeah,
height
ride
didn't
height got stuck.
unride height. Was in
Yeah,
permanent down mode. That stinks. But yeah, I think so. Yeah, I guess I would say that I don't know, man, because man, Rince is not. I think Rince is still fucked up from when he broke his leg a couple years ago. I don't think he's ever been the same since.
yeah,
No, Oliveira, he's. I want to say that he's won 3 or 4 races over his career, but it's been a long time. He hasn't done a whole lot of anything. I mean, didn't do a whole lot of anything on the Aprilia last year. So yeah, I don't know, man. Of course, I guess yeah, I guess Jack Miller is they did they re-sign him to Pramac? Is that I
yeah.
heard
Jack Miller is locked in to
he's
be with
locked in?
with Top Rack. Yeah, next season.
So yeah, that's really shocking because yeah, he hasn't had a good. Is it the bike that bad, where these even decent riders can't do anything on the bike?
I mean, I really thought that the Yamaha would be a lot better at the our last race, the Hungarian GP.
Yes.
I really thought that it would at least be like a top 8 bike. Um, just looking at how the track, like the track layout, real tight track, lots of turns. So the smaller tracks are usually tracks where the bikes that are struggling, it's like a equalizer pretty much.
Yeah.
The smaller like weird outlier tracks like that. But yeah, Fabio then just goes into the main race and just like torpedoes into turn one.
You knew that was going to happen.
And
I mean, it's like I remember when they did World Superbike rounds there, and I was like, this turn sucks. So I'm not a fan of that track. I think I've told you this before. It just does not seem like it has any flow to it, any kind of continuity. I mean, it's all like stop. It's like racing through a downtown city street, like stoplight to stoplight, and like zigzagging. I mean, it's just so stop and go.
yeah,
Not like
stop and
Phillip
go.
Island, for example, which it looks like to me would be a wonderful track to ride, just because it is just so flowing, everything connected together.
Yep.
It's not. Another thing which yeah bugs me about this Hungarian round is it just looks too sterile. Like mathematically, it's like here's a turn, straight going this way, and then a 90-degree turn for 50 feet, and another 90-degree turn for 50 feet. It's just too. It's like maybe it looked good on paper when some architect laid it out, but the way the track flows it just doesn't seem like it flows, honestly. And 3 chicanes in the damn track. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, man, that's like ridiculous. And then you saw when Bastianini dumped it. I mean, his bike skittled right into the path, and him, by the way, skittled right into the path of oncoming traffic. And like I
Yeah, I saw that. That was really crazy.
that was
And no
I
red flag. No red flag from that, right?
which is really surprising. I mean, I guess he wasn't. It wasn't a high speed event, but he must have dumped a shovel full of gravel onto the track. I thought if nothing else, like maybe the corner workers were super great in cleaning all that stuff up, because it was like the third. It was early in the race, so it
Yeah.
wasn't. So they had time before the bikes came around again. Yeah, I hope they don't go there. I think. And the other thing I think is really interesting when they show like MotoGP as the opener, and they show like the drone footage over the landscape and everything.
Mhm.
The this track is like, it's not like it's shoehorned in the city. They have open space in damn near every direction around this track. They didn't need to make it so narrow to fit in this small footprint.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're dropping whatever $1 billion on making a track, you can buy Farmer John's field next door and expand the track. So that's frustrating when you kind of look. If you look at the track, you look like, oh, they must have really just squeezed this into a very small parcel of land. Then you show the drone footage for overhead, and it's like there's all this farmland all the way around this track where they could have made the track twice as long with more character than just these 3 stop and go chicanes, a U-turn, and the track just doesn't have, to me, again, this is my opinion, didn't have any character at all. um, and didn't really make the sprint. I was like, oh god, after I watched the sprint on Saturday in the main race, where there was maybe what two overtakes, total, like real
Yeah.
overtakes, not someone going off the track or crashing or whatever. I was like, this is gonna be a damn boring race on Sunday. And it was a little bit more exciting, but it's not like you watch some of these other races where there's multiple changes back and forth. That's what makes racing exciting, in my opinion. Not this. It's not like a bunch of bikes going out behind the intermediate coach. Everyone's staying in line and watching them following them around the track.
Yeah, I mean, for the sprint, yeah, Mark just got out in front and tore out, and
Yeah,
that was it. But yeah, for the main race, I mean, he was behind Bezzecchi for a little bit, so that was somewhat interesting. But once again, it was just, as you like to say, another rider eval type situation that was going on.
yep. Just following control rider, following the customer around, seeing if he's gonna get the bump up to intermediate, up to advanced. So
Yeah, that was like just like a shark in the water, pretty much. I mean, Mark's just following behind Bezzecchi, like his bike's not moving around or anything going through. I mean, it looked like he was just relaxing, just following Bezzecchi for a little bit.
he, it's crazy. I mean, because he said it was like a comfortable race afterwards, and it was just like an easy Sunday for him. And so I mean, he's probably pushing, but he probably was not pushing more than you know, 75% or something like that. Oh, this is the main race. It's a It goes, ooh, because Marquez bumped into the. He said he didn't expect to see Bezzecchi slowing up so much going into the turn.
Yeah, right.
He was like on the gas, and here's his bikes parked on the apex.
Yeah, I mean it's really crazy, man. I mean this Mark Marquez, man, just playing around with the field right now. I mean he wasn't pressured at any point during the entire weekend.
Nope.
I
And then
mean, look at the past.
yeah, he's just like, and
Got
then
it
he's like,
back, but look, you're not worried about it.
no, those are the passing highlights for the whole weekend. Right
Yeah.
there. These 2 series of passes, and Marquez just gonna wait a lap and then just like blow by him.
I mean,
And
and effortless pass.
yeah, so who the one guy on the Paddock Pass podcast called, like, it's like Marquez is just stuck in the slow group, and he's just because no one can ride with him, man. It's crazy.
He's pretty much that guy that straps on like the Insta 360 and just goes around like passing people close.
Yeah.
Getting like good videos for like an Instagram reel or something.
Great. I need to show some track footage. Let me
Yeah.
slow down a little bit and let this guy get close, and it'll like buzz by him. So here we go. And with that, the race is over after this. So
And it begs the question, who is the closest one to Mark Marquez right now?
oh
Who's the closest?
man, I mean, obviously it's Alex in points, but he's another one where it's like after his crash at Assen, he's had some bad luck, but he's also just not riding the way he was at the beginning of the year. So maybe in the first half it was Alex. In the second half, it's got to be Bezzecchi. I mean, he's been with Mark's had to pass him for whatever 2 out of the last 3 races, and he's been he's been close. He's been up there.
Yeah.
He passed him when on the last lap at the Saxon Ring, right? And then at the Red Bull Ring. I mean, well, anyway, Bezzecchi's been right up there, and good for him, man. I mean, he's done all the hard work while Jorge's been out. and in terms of developing the bike, and he's riding great. So, but
Yeah,
but still, he can't. He may get the lead, but then Mark's like, just bides his time, watches him, and then when he decides to go, then he goes and he passes them.
yeah, and that's the scary thing with Mark, and I definitely think that Bezzecchi is going to be our last hope for somebody to challenge Mark for the rest of the season. Alex Marquez, I mean, he has never been able to put an entire season together in MotoGP. I
Correct.
don't know why. He falls off. I don't even know that we can even blame it on the injury at this point. I mean, he was ready to go by the next race. I mean, they've had the break. I mean,
That's
I
right. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him, man, but we thought it'd be Alex and Mark all season, and Alex has had 2 rounds now where he's had penalties.
Yeah, you can't be doing it. That's did you see that penalty
And
with him and Jack Miller? I mean, it's
yeah,
like you
that
can't
was
be
silly. That's
arguing, on the race line. I mean, it's like these guys professionals. Come on, man, you can't be doing that.
can't
It's like,
do it. Too much at stake.
these guys should know better by this point. So he kind of shot himself in the ass on that one. So
Yeah, so he qualified well, and then he gets the freaking grid penalty, and then just goes out and craps the bed for the race, and like, what are you doing, sir? I'm slowly losing faith in him. Still had him on my fantasy team. I thought he was still going to have a good result despite the penalty, but I mean, he just like went full implosion, peck back
well,
nine.
so this is the source of your question, right? Because you want to figure out how to fill out your fantasy, team for the rest of the season. And
Oh,
Alex ain't cutting it, right?
he's not cutting it. It's got to be Bezzecchi now,
It's got
and
to be
obviously
Bez.
Mark Marquez, and Bez has always been consistent. Even when he was on the Ducati, I mean, he was consistent, and he would make random appearances here and there, but he was always consistent. And with the Aprilia, he looks good on the bike. He's just now getting comfortable on it. I mean, he's fast on it now, and we almost forgot to mention the guy in fourth place, his teammate Jorge Martin.
Yeah, he had a great weekend for once. Just a couple things. Yeah, I kind of when I thought about that, I think part of me is like happy that he's kind of put together a weekend and uh didn't have issue didn't well he did blow a motor I think earlier in the weekend, but in general his
Mhm.
weekend went well, and finishing fourth for whatever his third or full like whatever weekend on the bike is fantastic. um it's and I think after his whatever first or second injury, I mean, no one knows what he went through in terms of like how low he was at one
Mhm.
point, but people aren't going to forget how his and probably most likely his agent pulled this whole he wants to get out of his contract at the end of the year nonsense, and that whole thing. I mean, his agent, someone's feeding he's got to maybe find some new friends or a new agent or something, because he, people shouldn't forget that how he was trying to get out of this contract when he really did not give the bike a fair shake. So I don't know. I have a couple different opinions, I guess. Mixed bag, I should say, on Jorge Martin.
Yeah, I'm kind of like conflicted on that too, because on one shoe, I mean, you gotta have to kind of see where he's coming from, right? You ride the
Yeah,
bike. Every time you ride the bike, you get severely injured, right? Like not just an off, like you get severely injured, and then you're sitting in the hospital away from home. I mean, you're just like stewing in your own thoughts at that point. You're
yeah, because
thinking about everything.
he couldn't even fly when he got injured at Qatar.
Yeah, he was stuck there.
He literally like
He was stuck.
abandoned in in Qatar in the
Yeah.
desert.
So you have to like consider. I mean, just like how would you feel? I'd be feeling terrible. Like what am I
Right, right.
doing? Did I make a mistake? I wouldn't want to ride the bike at all. But once again, I mean that it was like the lowest of the low. I mean, you're riding a new bike at a new manufacturer. That happens. You get healed up, get back on the bike, crash again.
Right.
You're back in the hospital again. I mean, so I get that, and should he have been so public about it? Pro- Probably not a good look to go and trash the bike, and then Aprilia's talking crap back to him. When he's in the hospital, they're saying, "Oh, our bike can win." and
Well,
stuff like this,
they weren't
blasting him.
lying though. I think honestly, I think Aprilia kind of took the high road. It's like because who? That's when Bezzecchi won at Silverstone again, right after Quartararo had his issue. I mean, Bezzecchi won on like every time Jorge would open his mouth, the Aprilia would shine and be on the podium.
It freaking bite him,
So,
and
but there's something interesting, like you said, like where he said, if he was so if he got in his head where he really felt I can't get on this bike anymore, it's going to kill me. How much do you think he's going to be able to push to 100% on that bike? I mean, like someone like Marquez, he doesn't care. He's crashed.
Mhm,
Because he's always pushing, going right up to the line, and then he crashes. Like, okay, now I know where the line is. I'll go up to just in front of that line for every track. And then that was him. He made a career out of that at Honda. I think he's a little more reserved now because he's old man of 32 and whatnot. But how much do you how aggressive you think Jorge Martin is going to be once he kind of gets into his flow and he has to push because he's
mhm,
seen what happens and I think he's going to, and if he was unwilling to ride the bike because of previous injuries, I think that's still going to be, I know these guys have short-term memories, but you would think that that would be always just kind of niggling in the back of his head that, ooh, I don't want to spend, another two
mhm.
months in a hospital in a foreign land here.
Yeah, you would think that, but like you said, I mean, these guys are the best in the world. I mean, they have the best people around them. They sports psychologists. I'm sure they all have their own visits with these types of people. And like I said, the team, it was like no hard feelings. I mean, Jorge Martin ended up apologizing. The team accepted him. He said, "All right, well, I'm gonna put my head down. I need to honor this obligation with the team, and we're gonna work together." So I think it's just a case of short-term memory. I mean, like you said, he fourth place, you know, in
Yeah,
this
you can't
last
argue
race.
with
So,
that. Right,
so,
right.
so it's a confidence type of thing, and he's only been doing better and better
Yeah.
every round since he's been back. I haven't only done what 2 3 races on the bike at this
Mhm.
point, full weekends.
Right. Where you,
So it's just him slowly building confidence now. The team has his back. They're not going to pull like a Maverick Vinales situation on him and just kind of like shun the guy on the bike. I mean, Aprilia wants him there. They were prepared the entire time to give him whatever he needed. It was just Martin that was uh expressing his like displeasure with the bike and everything. But Aprilia, like they never, he always had their full support. So
yeah, I think so.
he's just back in the fold now. They're sort of kissed and made up, and it's back to business. But every round,
Well,
he's
that's exactly right. I think that last part you said, this is back to business.
yeah.
They don't have to love each other. It's like, but they have a bike which is competitive, and he has talent to ride the bike.
Mhm,
And it's like maybe they may not be sending each other Christmas cards, but they've got a job to do, and Aprilia wants to sell bikes at the end of the day. And the more that Bez and Jorge, show that how competitive the bike is, then the more bikes are going to get sold, and all
mhm.
the sponsors, all look at their leathers. Everyone up and down on their leathers is going to be happy about that. So yeah, man, I hope he does all right. I mean, do you think his even on the Aprilia, let's just say you know he forgets about past accidents and he starts to return to his previous level. Do you think he's still going to be able to start, putting the bike on the podium or fighting for a win?
Mhm. Absolutely, 100%,
Okay.
100%. Because I mean, I think like compare him to Bezzecchi, for example. I
Yeah.
mean, one of them's a world champion, one of them's not. They were both on the same bike.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah,
you
that's a good
know,
way to look at
um,
it.
So I would say that Jorge Martin is more talented. So
Yeah.
once he's comfortable with that, because I mean Bezzecchi's been riding the bike all season too. Um, I would say that Jorge Martin has adapted faster than Bezzecchi did. I mean Bezzecchi is really just now coming into form, and we're
Right.
about
Yeah.
to wrap the season up, right? Jorge Martin's already in fourth place in that thing, sniffing a podium, coming off a crazy injury, and he's not comfortable on the bike yet.
Yeah, that would be interesting next weekend because I think, Catalunya, that's didn't Leish win on that bike on that track?
He typically wins
Yeah,
that
I mean, he,
one.
like,
Yeah,
loves it. So is
yeah.
that the hometown discount, or is the bike just is it that
That
plus the bike is really, for whatever reason, does well at that track? So,
It's I think it's both. We've talked about that in previous shows too, and I think it's both. The bike works well there, but then Aleix is a track specialist there. I mean, he knows every groove and nook and cranny in the track, and he
sure.
makes the bike work there consistently. But I think Jorge Martin, I mean, it's he might be continuing to sniff that podium next week. And I mean, we might even see two Aprilias, which would
Maybe,
be really crazy. I mean, I would
right.
say definitely two Aprilias in the top five for sure for the sprint race and the main race.
Mhm.
With what we know about how Aprilia runs there in the past, and both these guys are looking real good right now. I think Aprilia is definitely a solid bet.